Okay, where to start? Hi everybody. Thanks for checking in today. I feel like a week or two ago was like ages ago. Today is Tuesday, February 6th, and it feels like January was such a long time ago. This weekend, my mother-in-law came in and visited us. I don't know if I shared it on here because I even forgot to share the news with my mom. But my husband is working in a different state or away. So he also came back this weekend and visited. So it was not a hectic weekend. Everybody just wanted to stay home and hang out with the babies. So that's what we did. But when people are in the house, especially like visitors like my mother-in-law, I don't typically do my budget or my planning. Like, I'll show you. I have always said I am a huge planner. These are all of my notebooks that I use for daily planning, budgeting, just future planning and stuff. So, and I'm the type of person, like, once I write it down, it's like out of my head. So I don't constantly think about it. But if I'm not constantly looking at it, I just tend to forget it. So for me, this weekend or this last week or two has just been not hectic. It just seems like I took a well-needed break from everything, I guess. And I have some time right now because baby's still sleeping, or she went back to bed, but should be probably waking up here soon. So let's try to get this done quickly, which, if you're new here, I'll let you know that I'm usually a chit-chatter. I don't typically do any of this quickly. A simple check-in that should take like 5 or 6 minutes ends up taking me half an hour. But anyways, so as you can see, last week I didn't do any tracking. I didn't do anything. And this morning I had some time. My mornings are a little hectic. I drop off my toddler at preschool, and then I come home, and usually one of my oldest is with the baby, and they're both still sleeping. So, my mother-in-law did a really good job of cleaning up the house for me before she left yesterday. So I don't have to really pick up too much. I mean, there's organizing stuff here and there to do, but I had time this morning, so I broke down some stuff that I wanted to do budgeting wise. I got a little quick chit chat in with my husband about our budgeting situation also. So it kind of just motivated me just to go ahead and budget it. I'm also watching, let's see if this will do it. I'm also watching, is it Diana Marie? And this episode of hers is pretty much, well, so far, because I'm only like 5 minutes into it, pretty much is like doing things when you get that burst and then of energy. So that's what I'm doing. So just listening to her has also kind of motivated me to get this going. So today, or right now, I've been wanting to redo my, I guess, monthly overlook of bills. Usually every year I will write down all of our bills and just kind of do all of the math, and just so I kind of have a clue of where we're at or what we're doing. So it's February, so I thought beginning of the year, let's go ahead and do this. This is kind of in the beginning stages, So that's why it's gonna look scattered. So just bear with me a little bit, and let's zoom in a little. I know, and all of this will get better as I get more time. Okay, so these are all of I budget differently, so I know people have like their variables and their non-negotiables and stuff like that. I like to call all of this like my daily bills, so our stuff that we need to like run the house, to survive, to live. So okay, and I think I did this more detailed than I normally have. Do I have my other one in here? I don't think so. Oh yeah, I do. So this was from last year, and I mean it is pretty detailed, but throughout the year, you know, like things change, amounts change, and then it's like, I don't know, I feel like I have to like redo things to be interested in it. So we just chicken scratched it here. I'm also thinking of like maybe moving my budgeting to those, either like a 3-hole binder or like those what are they called, the not Budget With Me, but I don't know, the budgeting books that have the rings and then you could just easily take in and out the pages. I think I want to try to do that this year, because I'll make forms like this, right, where I have ideas of a new layout, and since it's in a notebook, I can't. So I have to, I'll show you. This is my chicken scratch notebook, where I just kind of jot down things real quick. So it's just full of post-it notes and then binder clips or whatever. So I just want to do something more organized, but if I get to that, I will definitely post about it. But anyways, so let's get into our budget or our bills for the year. And I did do them in order that they come out, which is perfect, because I think my last one I didn't do that. They were just sporadic. Okay, so our mortgage, that usually comes, we pay it on the 1st normally, but I think we have up until the 15th to pay it. But I budget $22.80. I think it's like $22.78 or something. Over here on the payment side, if it says cash, it just means like it just comes from our debit account, because we are not paper cash users. We hardly use cash for anything. We are debit and credit card users. So if you ever see cash, it normally means my debit card or our debit account. Our house electric is usually $200 on the 2nd, and that does come out of a credit card. Our credit card payment, $300. Internet for our grandma that lives in Oregon. I was going to say Mexico. Our grandma that lives in Oregon, we still pay her house internet. So, and that just went up to $107 this last month. I think for February is what it went up to. And that's on the credit card. Our farmer's insurance, which is our cars and our house. Our water bill for the house, our phones, which is 3 phones. My youngest son is on Mint Mobile, which I think we paid for his yearly last year. So I think he's due in October again. So that'll be a thing. So I need to keep track of that. Okay. Storage for one of our phones, our credit card, our Spotify account, our auto savings, our Netflix, our Target credit card, our internet for our home. And then these are our usually our weekly expenses. So food for the house, that means any groceries or any eating out. Typically the 7 days, Monday through Sunday. School lunches. So my oldest is the only one that goes out to school. He's a high schooler. My second oldest we're trying homeschool this last half of the year. I don't know if I've shared that on here either, but we are trying homeschool. If you're new here, we are a family that moved from Oregon to the Texas area. It's almost been a year. And I just, how do I say this? My second son, he's more like hands-on and needs a lot of redirection. I'm sure there's a little bit of ADHD in there, and just the fact that he is naturally the class clown. And so we were just having a lot of issues with school and teaching and learning. So I just thought it would be best for everybody, for him and staff, I suppose, to try to do school at home. And then next year we will probably try out a different middle school, which that is a journey that I figured out that is a little journey, trying to find a school, because we don't know if we should do a public school or a charter or something private, even military school. So we're looking. If anybody has if anybody has gone through that journey, let me know your experience. He's a great kid. He just needs a little bit more hand holding and a little bit of redirecting. Oh yeah, so that explains the lunches. So it's a little bit less, but I am budgeting I think $40 for my son that goes to school weekly, and then the other $20 I thought my son here can pick a day during the week where he gets lunch out. And then weekend money, that's usually Friday through Sunday, and that's any expenditures out. So sometimes I like to group in food in there. If we do a shopping trip, if we do any fun activities or anything, I like to take it out of there. And then gas for our 2 cars. And we also, this should be up here, I just forgot about it afterwards, is our pest control spraying. And I think it's $55 a month. I have to double check though. Let's just... And does anybody else have that? Like, you have your chicken scratch when you're just writing a quick note, and then like nicer writing. I tend to do that. Sometimes I can't even read my own writing sometimes, but okay. Yeah, so all of these total $39.82, and then all of this here totals $23.20 for the month. So that gives us a total of $6,302 of daily necessity bills to live. So up here, and this is kind of how my brain works, so this is a good insight. Up here, let me just hold a pencil. I did our income, so my husband gets paid weekly. That comes out to $5,800 a month, and then I get paid bi-weekly, which comes out to $2,200 a month, giving us an even $8,000 a month. So that minus the 63, we have $1,698 left over, which I always think is great. But then I forget that we have sinking funds. And I don't know if I should really call these sinking funds, because what I do, or what I used to do, I need to put a holder here. Oh man. So I don't keep flipping back and forth. Okay. Oh yeah, so what I used to do was pay all of our bills, or track them as they go, and then any extra things, so like dog food, it's not in the budget anywhere, and we would, obviously you have to buy it, so we would just buy it, and then our food category would be over the dog food amount. And so I had tried to get into setting up sinking funds, but I'm on maternity leave right now, so I'm not bringing in an income. So this was too stressful trying to figure it out. And right now we are essentially kind of putting half of our budget on credit cards, which we're okay with. I got into that whole spiel last video, so if you want to kind of go over that, or if you have any comments or anything in regards to living off credit cards, definitely put them in the comments below. I understand that that's not like a big, it's a no-no in our budgeting world, but like I've said, we're kind of doing what we have to, and it is what it is. So, yeah. But if anybody has any comments about it, or how to get out of it, or increase your income or anything, definitely leave a comment below, because that is kind of my next step, is how to generate more income, like what to do. I'm kind of limited just because I'm home with the kids by myself right now, pretty much. And then I'm going back to work on Monday, so I'm not available during the day. So, oh yeah, so side notes, lots of those. So these are all our sinking funds, and I didn't total it up with this, but over here we said we have leftover of $16.98 a month. And let's just say, it's an even, did I do $16.98? Yeah. 16.98 divided by 4. So it's about $424 a week. So that's actually pretty good, because if we do $425 a week, let me just do the math real quick here. This first number is what I thought we needed monthly, and then this second number is what we need weekly. So let me do the math and see if it even totals out to that. Oh, I did do it. Oh, see, so I did reduce it, made reductions, and it's $428. So we're just short a couple of dollars. What did I say? $425? $424 a week. So maybe I can try to put these in. I think what also does it for me is budgeting sometimes stresses me out, because I did years of budgeting but not really tracking, or necessarily track to stay on budget, if anybody understands that. I would do all of this legwork, but if we were over, it's just kind of whatever, because we always had a big buffer. And sometimes tracking, I wouldn't even track. I would just, what I'm doing now is just start over next week. And so I never really tracked, like detailed track. So maybe I can try to work these in our budget and track them so they come out of these funds versus our budgeted money. And I think also it was like, for me, what was stressful was trying to move this money into a savings account, and then like when I budget weekly, I would take the money out of that account and then pay these things off. But it was just a lot of shuffling. I don't know if anybody like understands where I'm coming from. It was just a lot of shuffling, and I just didn't, I was like 7 months pregnant when I was trying to do this or incorporate this, so like my brain was not functioning. So But now to see, maybe I can put it in, so maybe I'll try to work with that. But yeah, so this is our necessities for the year. And then we see that we can fit in these saving funds. And these yellow ones are the ones that I wanted to get to next. Getting a month ahead, saving for date night, saving for gifts. And then these are all other topics or categories that I wanted, or that I thought that we have. So yeah, so that is pretty much it. Yeah, so I wrote down the cards here, which this is going to change also. So I'm going to be doing a debt confession, and I'll go into details, I guess, that I haven't really showed in my budgeting or my budget with me's. So like right now we have a credit card of our Amex, our Target, our Capital One, our Amazon, our On Point, and our Chase. Not all of them have balance. A couple of them are maxed out. That is from moving, and then now our maternity leave. And so that is a huge project for me to try to figure out, keep them all in order and how to pay them back and staying on track and all of that. My chit chat with my husband earlier was about, how do I explain it? He has to track his expenses and he gets reimbursed. But he's been really bad about it. So some things have been slipping through the cracks from him. So, and I haven't been tracking that card because we agreed that one of his credit cards, the Amex, was going to be strictly for his work expenses. That way it didn't get all mixed up and we could clearly see if things were getting paid or not. So that's also a work in progress because he was only going to supposed to stay for 2 weeks, and it's been a month now. So now his project is longer. So now we need to get into the groove of just trying to do all of that. So I think I'm going to cut this here because next we are going to go over this week's budget. But I don't want to do it both because it's already pretty long. But yeah, so I just wanted to share this. And if you haven't done it, I think people should. I literally went through my budget like up to October to get everything, just to make sure I didn't miss anything, any budgeted amounts. I should make a column of like what the actual charge is, but yeah, just kind of have everything out. I like to have it just because it makes everything clear. I see my bills, I see what my income is, the little math bits, and yeah. And then of course your sinking funds, which I think I've gone over this in a different video, but yeah. So I think it's really important. Try to do write out what your sinking funds are. I even write little notes for me of like what. So like for the girls, I wrote, diapers, wipes, clothes, formula, so I write little notes of what that is going to actually be for. So yeah, just a quick little video about setting up your yearly bills list, what your year will look like, what do you need, and yeah. So hopefully this helps anybody or kind of gives you the push to go ahead and do it. I know for me it was like a lot because you have to go back through everything and make sure, but like I said, I had time in between naps and everything here. So we will be doing school time. Well, pick up time and school time here soon. And we only did that in like 20 minutes. I think it was 11:22 when I started. So that's good. Okay. I will see you guys in the next one. If you want to stay, if you want to see my budget for this week, I will post the video somewhere here. All right, guys, thanks. We'll see you in the next one.